Good morning friends, myself Professor Taval Chandarana, and we are continue on subject of database management system and unit number 4 known as a relational database design. As previously we will discuss so many things in this unit of relational database design. As previous we are discussed some basic terminology about Armstrong axioms, what are the different rules, and if a question should be asked from prove the some dependency with help of Armstrong's axiom rules, which we are cover in our previous lectures. So guys, we will continue on unit number 4, and today we will discuss the topic decomposition using FD, and one of the most important concept of database management system subject is known as a normalization. So previously જે કાંઈ પણ આપણે ડિસ્કસ કર્યું હતું આર્મસ્ટ્રોંગ એક્ઝિયોમ રૂલ્સ, કઈ રીતે ફંક્શન્સ ડિપેન્ડન્સી આપી હોય અને એને તમારે પ્રૂવ કરવાનું છે વિથ હેલ્પ ઓફ આર્મસ્ટ્રોંગ રૂલ્સ. જો તમને કોઈ એમાં ડાઉટ હોય તો પ્લીઝ ગો થ્રુ માય પ્રીવિયસ વિડીયો. એન્ડ નાઉ વી વિલ ડિસ્કસ a decomposition using FDs, or we can say a function dependency and a normalization. So we will start with this today's lecture with help of decomposition using FD. We can avoid the update anomalies by decomposition of the original relation. As previously we will discuss what is a updation anomalies. There are the three different types of updation anomalies. First one is a insertion anomalies, second one is deletion anomalies, and third one modification anomalies. And what the requirement of anomalies in a normalization we will discuss in a previous lecture with help of example. In brief, if I want to explain anomalies, is just the nothing but to remove a redundant record, or we can say duplicate record, using decomposition a table, or we can say a relationship. જો આપણે અપડેશન એનોમલીઝને શોર્ટમાં ડિસ્ક્રાઇબ કરવું હોય તો આપણે એટલું કહી શકીએ કે ત્રણ પ્રકારના એનોમલીઝ, ઇન્સર્શન એનોમલીઝ, ડિલીશન એનોમલીઝ એન્ડ અપડેશન એનોમલીઝમાં એક જ વસ્તુ આપણે ધ્યાનમાં રાખવાની છે કે ડેટા રિડન્ડન્સ થતા હોય અથવા તો રેકોર્ડ્સ કોઈ રિડન્ડન્ટ એટલે કે ડુપ્લિકેટ વેલ્યુ ઇન્સર્ટ થતી હોય તો આપણે એને રિમૂવ કરવાની છે વિથ હેલ્પ ઓફ અપડેશન એનોમલીઝ. સો અ decomposition means nothing but we need to divide our actual relation in somehow that we reduce a redundancy, but we need to know that our data is 100% secure as well as not lost any of the single record whenever we decompose our actual relation. So it is the compulsory to know that we can't lose any single information in our database if we are dividing our relation or not. The relation schema R is decomposed into the relation schema R1, R2, R3 up to the Rn in a such a way that R1 union of R2, union of R3 and union of rest of all are equal to R. So in form of these three lines we can say that if we combine all the decomposition relation which are divided from the R, the end of result, if we combine all the sub relation, it must be collections of R which is divisible by all the decomposed relations. Like we can say that if R is divided in a three different section or three different schema like R1, R2 and R3, whenever we decompose, it must be known that if we divide R into the three different table, whenever we combine R1, R2 and R3, then we getting original relation of R. It is the most prior thing to know that the important concept of decomposition, because we can't afford that if we lose any single information then our database is not a accurate one. So it is must be know that whenever we combine all the relation we getting the original relation. Like example, we says that leading schema is equal to branch name, branch city, assets, customer name, loan number and amount. If the original relations defined, there are the 6 numbers of column or we can say attribute. Now if we decompose the actual relation, first one, branch underscore customer underscore schema. In this schema we just put a branch number, or sorry, branch name, branch city, assets and customer name. There are 4 different attributes which we divide in form of leading schema, and we take a one new name known as a branch underscore customer underscore schema. Second type, it is known as a customer underscore loan underscore schema. Customer name, loan number and amount, it is the attributes of customer loan schema. As a previously we discussed that if R is decomposed into the schema of R1, R2, R3 and Rn, whenever we perform the union operations on decomposed table, we getting the original table known as R. Same thing we will discuss in this example. If we have R known as leading schema and there are the different attributes as is seen in the screen, then branch name, branch city, assets, customer name, loan number and amount. If we this divide R with a different R1, R2 like branch customer schema, customer loan schema, whenever we perform the union of this all the relations which will divide of a leading schema, and behalf of that if we are performing the union operation, we getting the actual record. So as a known that decomposition means nothing but we divide our actual relations on a different schema, and whenever we require to getting actual R, at that time we perform the union operation. Now we see the different condition which we require to know whenever we perform the decomposition FDs. If the relation branch customer cross product with help of customer loan is compared with the original leading relation, we observe that every tuple in leading relation is in a branch customer and customer loan schema, because we are divide actual schema R leading customer schema with help of 2 different section known as branch customer and customer loan. So first satisfied that if we are performing the union, then we are getting the actual schema R. The relation branch customer cross product with the customer loan contain the following additional tuple. Now we see that what are the different additional tuple if we perform the cross product. At that time we need to know that what are the different record it should be added with help of cross product. Downtown Brooklyn 19,000 Jones L11 and 900 minus Horsenacks 80,000 Jones L70 1000. So 2 different record it should be performed whenever we perform the decomposition using FDs. Now considering the query, find all the bank branches that have made a loan in an amount less than rupees 1000. As previously we see that there are the 2 different record. Based on 2 different record, we perform those queries. The result of this query using the leading relation in minus. The result of the same query using the relation branch underscore customer cross product with the customer loan is downtown and minus, because as previously we says that if we are performing the cross product, if you have doubt any regarding the cross product how the output will become, then please refer my previous videos. So as of previously we says that if we perform query on a single relation which is not decomposed, at that time we are getting a single result is known as a minus. But if we are decompose a relation in a 2 different relation, customer and loan, and if we are performing the same query on those relation like branch customer and customer loan, so output will be different, means at the time they are getting a 2 different output. જો આપણે રિલેશનના કોઈ સબસેક્શન્સ જનરેટ નથી કરતા અને આપણે ક્વેરી ફાઇન્ડ કરીએ છીએ, find a bank branches that have made a loan in an amount less than 1000. જો આ ક્વેરી પરફોર્મ કરવામાં આવે ઓન અ સિંગલ ટેબલ તો આપણને ઓનલી આઉટપુટ મળશે માઇનસ. બટ જો આપણે ડીકમ્પોઝિશન પરફોર્મ કરીએ છીએ અને સિંગલ ટેબલના બે સેક્શન કરીએ છીએ, બ્રાન્ચ કસ્ટમર એન્ડ કસ્ટમર લોન, તો આપણને આઉટપુટમાં બે રિઝલ્ટ જનરેટ થઈને મળે છે, એક ડાઉનટાઉન એન્ડ માઇનસ. So it is not a good thing. Now what we do, we perform a following notifications says that from the above two case we can says that the decomposition of leading relation into the branch customer and customer result is a bad database design. If you have doubt regarding a bad database design, please refer my first lecture of unit number 1, because we are already discussed what is a bad database design. જો આપણે પ્રીવિયસ બે કેસ ચેક કરવા જઈએ કે એક ક્વેરી પરફોર્મ કરીએ છીએ એક ટેબલ ઉપર તો આપણને રિલેશનનું આઉટપુટ સિંગલ મળે છે, અને જો આપણે સેમ ટેબલને બે અલગ ટેબલમાં ડિવાઈડ કરીએ છીએ અને સેમ ક્વેરી પરફોર્મ કરીએ છીએ તો આપણને રિઝલ્ટ ડિફરન્ટ મળે છે. જો એવું થતું હોય તો આપણે એને બેડ ડેટાબેઝ ડિઝાઇન કહેવું પડશે, बिकॉज डेटाबेઝમાં 100% आउटपुट सेम રહેવું જોઈએ, जस्ट આપણે રિમૂવ કરવાનું છે redundant record. It result is loss of informations and repetitions of information. As previously I will mention that we need to focus to two different and most important thing whenever we are performing a decomposition. First thing, we never accept that loss of informations, and repetitions of information is never allowed whenever we are performing decomposition. So those two things must be known that whenever we are performing decomposition. Because of loss of informations, we call the decompositions of leading relation into the branch customer and customer loan a lossy decomposition or lossy joint decomposition. જ્યારે આપણે કોઈ ડેટા પરફોર્મ કરીએ છીએ, so it is difficult to decompose the relation of original schema whenever we have a loss of information or a repetitions of information. As above the example, loss of informations, we call the decompositions of leading relation into the branch customer and customer loan as known as a lossy decomposition or lossy joint decomposition. જ્યારે આપણે એક રિલેશનના કોઈ સબસેટ જનરેટ કરીએ છીએ એન્ડ અધર રિલેશન્સ જનરેટ કરીએ છીએ, અને જો એ રિલેશન જનરેટ કરવામાં કોઈ ડેટા લોસ થતો હોય તો એને આપણે લોસી ડીકમ્પોઝિશન અથવા તો લોસી જોઈન્ટ ડીકમ્પોઝિશન્સ કહી શકીએ છીએ. Now we perform desirable property of decomposition. First one, lossless join. This property ensure that any instance of the original relation can be identified from corresponding instance in the smaller relations. As previously example we will discuss, if we are performing query on a single relation, we can say a unknown decomposition, at that time result is different, and if we are performing the same query on a decomposed table, at that time result will be different one. So those kind of relation is known as a lossless join, because at that time we are lost some informations. This property ensure that any instance of the original relation can be identified from corresponding instance in a smaller relation. Second thing, it is a dependency preservations. This property ensure that a constraint on the original relation can be maintained by simple enforcing some constraint on each of the smaller relations. Whenever we divide, or we can say decomposed, our original relation into the sub-relation, we must be maintain constraint which will be performed on our original relation. Like I will give you one example. If a relation schema R, there are some constraint of primary key. if you are dividing your relation schema R into the different relation R1, R2 and R3, you must be maintain primary key constraint on some another smaller relations. ડિપેન્ડન્સી પ્રિઝર્વેશન એવું કહેવા માગે છે કે જો તમે કોઈ કન્સ્ટ્રેન્ટ ડિફાઇન કરેલા છે તમારા ઓરિજિનલ એટલે કે ડિકમ્પોઝ થયા વગરના ટેબલમાં, તો જ્યારે તમે કોઈ ટેબલને ડિકમ્પોઝડ પર કરો છો ત્યારે તમારે એ દરેક કન્સ્ટ્રેન્ટ, જેટલા પણ કન્સ્ટ્રેન્ટ છે, નલ કન્સ્ટ્રેન્ટ, કી કન્સ્ટ્રેન્ટ, બધા જ કન્સ્ટ્રેન્ટ મેન્ટેન કરવા કમ્પલસરી છે. Now the most important concept as an exam point of view, as a practical point of view, please guys be focused on it. Normalization, it is the most important concept in a database management system. If you have focused on this concept, then it is really easy. If you have any conditions, if you are not accept any single thing which I will explain in normalization, then it is very difficult to understand normalization. But if you are focused on this thing, then it is really easy and it is really important for a exam point of view. First we will discuss the definitions. What is a normalization? Normalization is an essential part of database design. It is must be there. A good understanding of the semantics of data helps the designer to build efficient design using the concept of normalizations. It is the type that we create a good database design, and it is the task of database administrator. Normalization compulsory requirement है. Nowadays database have a lots of data. If you are not performing a normalization, then there are the lots of redundant data will be available in your database. But through the normalization you can reduce your data. Purpose of database, or we can say purpose of normalization. What is the requirement of normalization? Then first thing, minimize redundancy in data. It is the most important thing to understand before understanding a normalization, because redundancy is nothing but a duplications of record. I will just give you one example. If there are the 1 lakh record and there are the only single attribute is duplicated on a one time, then the record it should be 1 lakh into 2, means 2 lakh time this particular instance is repeated on your database. જો આપણે redundancy remove नहीं કરી શકીએ anyhow with help of normalization with create of good database design, then it is very difficult to filter out a data, as well as જ્યારે આપણે કોઈ યુઝર્સને ડેટા રિટ્રાઈવ કરીને આપવાના હશે ત્યારે એ બહુ જાજી પ્રોસેસ કરશે, and it should be a very loading for us as well as for the computer system. So it is must be required to minimize a redundancy in data. Second, remove, insert, delete and update anomaly during the database activity. Now I think you are clear why we are studying insertion, deletion and updation anomaly in our previous lecture. Because whenever we start a normalization, our first task is to remove as much as possible insertion, deletion and updation anomalies. If anyhow you are maintaining those 3 anomalies, then your 50% task is completed in form of normalization. So it is the prior thing to remove as much as possible all the 3 anomalies. And if you have doubt regarding any 3 anomalies, please refer my previous video lecture. Third thing, reduce the need to recognize data when it is modified or enhanced. Like as a previously we will discuss updation anomalies. Whenever we update a record, we just maintain those kind of design that if you are updating a single record, then it should be affected all over the database. Means we take a less number of time to updating any information in our database. આપણે એટલું ધ્યાન રાખવાનું છે કે જ્યારે કોઈ મોડિફિકેશન્સ જનરેટ થાય છે કોઈ સિંગલ રેકોર્ડ્સમાં, એટ ધેટ ટાઈમ જેટલું પોસિબલ થાય એટલું આપણે અપડેશન એનોમલીઝને રિમૂવ કરવાની છે. જો આપણે મેન્ટેન કરી દેશું, મીન્સ સિંગલ રેકોર્ડ અપડેટ કરવાથી કમ્પ્લીટ ડેટાબેઝમાં અફેક્ટ આવી જશે અને આપણે મલ્ટિપલ ટાઈમ અપડેટ કરવા નહીં જવો પડે કોઈ રેકોર્ડ, તો આપણે ઓલવેઝ નોર્મલાઇઝેશન્સ પરફોર્મ કરીએ છીએ. સો ધોઝ આર ધ ટાસ્ક which we need to maintain whenever we are performing normalization. Normalization reduces a complex user view to a set of small and stable subgroup of relation. As previously we just explained that if we are removing insertion, deletion and updation anomaly, then we achieve complex user view to into the normal user view. પહેલાં જ આપણે વાત કરી કે જો આપણે નોર્મલાઇઝેશન પરફોર્મ કરશું તો એનો મેઇન ટાસ્ક છે ડેટા ફિલ્ટર આઉટ. જ્યારે કોઈ ડેટા યુઝર સાઇડથી રિક્વેસ્ટ થાય છે તો આપણે એને સ્પીડમાં રિસ્પોન્સ કરી શકશું અને એની જે રિક્વાયરમેન્ટ છે એના બેઝ ઉપર નોર્મલ વ્યૂમાં એને આપણે ડેટા ડિસ્પ્લે કરીને આપી શકશું ઇફ જો આપણે નોર્મલાઇઝેશન પરફોર્મ કર્યું હશે. સેકન્ડ, જો તમે નોર્મલાઇઝેશન પરફોર્મ કરો છો તો પ્રોસેસિંગ સ્પીડ ફાસ્ટર થઈ જશે બીકોઝ વી આર રિમૂવિંગ અ રિડન્ડન્સી. થર્ડ થિંગ, જો આપણે ત્રણેય એનોમલીઝને મેન્ટેન કરશું તો યુઝરને પણ જાજો ટાઈમ ડેટા ગેટ કરવાનો ટાઈમ ઓછો થઈ જશે, એને વેઇટ નહીં કરવો પડે અને એને એઝ મચ એઝ ફાસ્ટર આપણે ડેટાબેઝમાંથી ડેટા ફાઇન્ડ કરીને ડિસ્પ્લે કરાવી શકશું ઇન ફોર્મ ઓફ સિમ્પલ વ્યૂ. સો ધોઝ આર ધ 4 થિંગ્સ which will be performed on a normalization, or we can say it is the process of a normalization. Now we see a different form which are available in a normalization. First, it is known as a first normal form. As we know that a relation is said to be in a first normal form if it is already in unnormalized form and it has a no repeating group. જો કોઈ રિલેશન્સ અનનોર્મલ ફોર્મમાં છે અને એમાં કોઈ રિપીટિંગ ગ્રુપ નથી, લાઈક આપણે રિડન્ડન્સી રિમૂવ કરી શકીએ છીએ, ધેટ્સ વાય ધોઝ કાઇન્ડ ઓફ રિલેશન ઇઝ નોન એઝ અ ફર્સ્ટ નોર્મલ ફોર્મ. વી વિલ સી વિથ ધ એક્ઝામ્પલ, બટ રાઇટ નાવ યુ જસ્ટ બી ફોકસ ઓન two different point. First, it already in unnormalized, and then second, it is a no repeating of groups. Second normal form, a relation is said to be in a second normal form if it is already in a first normal form and it has a no partial dependency. Now it is a dependency structures, so whenever we create a second normal form, first we know that it must be in a first normal form, means it is in unnormal and we remove a repetitions of group. If it is then and then it should be in a second normal form. So now we just remove a partial dependency, and what is partial dependency we will see in a later on. But on a second normal form, first it must be in a first normal form, and second we need to remove a partial dependency. Third normal form, a relation is said to be in a third normal form if it is already in a second normal form and it is has a no transitive dependency. What is transitivity? I think you know. If A is determinant B, B is determinant C, then we can directly say that A is determinant C. So it is a transitive dependency. But in a third normal form, we remove those kind of transitivity, then our relation it must be in a third normal form. Next, it is the fourth, known as Boy's Code normal form. A relation is said to be in a Boy's Code normal form if it is already in a third normal form and every determinant is a candidate key. What was the two different condition? As a previously we discussed, it is a dependency structure, so it must be in a third normal form, and if there are some candidate key, then we found that every candidate key is determinant of a normal form, and it is also known as a stronger version of 3NF. Next, a fourth normal form. A relation is said to be in a fourth normal form if it is already in a BCNF and it has a no multi-value dependency. Guys, don't be confused. It's just a brief introductions about different form of normalization. We will discuss in a depth with help of example. But before we will start any of the normalization form, we know that what is the requirement to convert our relationship, or we can say our relation, in a particular normal form. That's why I will just introducing the basic fundamental thing about a different form of normalization. In a fourth normal form, how can we say that our relation is in a fourth normal form? First, it must be in a BCNF, and if there are some any multi-value dependency, then we need to remove those kind of multi-value dependency. Then our relations says that it should be in a fourth normal form. Now, last one, it is the fifth normal form. A relation is said to be a fifth normal form if it is already in a 3NF and it has a no joint dependency. Like as previously we says that whenever we perform a fifth normal form, it must be in a it must be in a third NF and it has a no joint dependency. So guys, there are the 6 normal form which we need to cover in our later on with help of example. But up to now we know that what are the different normal forms, and if a relation into the particular normal form, then what are the different condition is be there. So it is the 6 different normal form which we are study in a brief. Now we say terminology used in a normalization form. Means what are the different conditions which will be mentioned in this particular normal form, like transitive dependency, joint dependency, multi-value dependency. So what are the different dependency which is removed in this particular relation? Now we see the basic things. First one, it is a partial dependency. What is a partial dependency? In a relations having more than one key field, like a primary key field, a subsets of non-key fields may depend on all key fields, but another subsets or a particular non-key fields may depend on only one of the key field. Such dependency is called a partial dependency. Please be focused on the definitions of partial dependency, because on a second normal form we need to remove those kind of dependency if a relation have. પાર્શિયલ ડિપેન્ડન્સી કોને કહેવાય? જો કોઈ એક રિલેશન્સમાં કી ફિલ્ડ છે અને જેટલા નોન કી ફિલ્ડ છે એ બધા જ કોઈ પર્ટિક્યુલર કી ફિલ્ડ્સ ઉપર જ ડિપેન્ડન્સ હોવા જોઈએ. એટલે કે કોઈ પ્રાઇમરી કીના બેઝ ઉપર તમે બધી જ કોલમને રિટ્રાઈવ કરી શકવા જોઈએ. જો એના સબસેટ્સ બીજી કોઈ કી ફિલ્ડ્સ ઉપર ડિપેન્ડન્સ હશે તો આપણે એ દરેક નોન કી ફિલ્ડ્સને એ રીતે રિમૂવ કરવાના છે કે જેનાથી એ પર્ટિક્યુલર કી ફિલ્ડ્સ ઉપર ડિપેન્ડ થાય. સો ધોઝ કાઇન્ડ ઓફ ડિપેન્ડન્સી known as a partial dependency. Second, it is a transitive dependency. In a relations, there may be dependency among the non-key field. Such dependency is called a transitive dependency. પાર્શિયલ ડિપેન્ડન્સીમાં આપણે જેમ જોયું, જો કોઈ સબસેટ જનરેટ કરીએ છીએ તો એ પર્ટિક્યુલર જેટલા પણ સબસેટ્સ જનરેટ કરીએ છીએ એ બધા જ સબસેટ કોઈ એક કી ફિલ્ડ ઉપર ડિપેન્ડન્સ હોવા જોઈએ. Now, what is a transitive dependency? In a relations, there may be a dependence among the non-key field. Means if some relation is depends on a non-key field, those kind of dependency known as a transitive dependency, and we need to remove in third normal form. Next one, it is determinant. A determinant is any field on which some other field is fully functional dependency. Like name is fully functional depend on enrollment number. As an example, we can say that name, it is determinant of enrollment number, because if there are the lots of name, if you found some unique name, then it must be required to have an enrollment number. If you have enrollment number, then and then you can getting the unique record, or we can say find some unique name, because on a particular college there are lots of students we have a same name. But if you have a unique number, or we can say enrollment number, then you can getting a single unique record. So determinant is nothing but the field on which some another field is fully functional dependent. Next, multi-value dependency. Consider there three fields x, y and z in a relation. If for each value of x there is a well-defined sets of value y and well-defined sets of value z's. Like we can say that જો તમારી પાસે x છે અને એના તમે subset generate કરો છો y અને z, then and then we can say that if for each value of x there is a well-defined sets of value y and there well-defined value of z, and the sets of value y is independent of value of z, because y and z it is a subsets of x, but y and z it is working on a independently, then multi-value dependency is existed. As how we know that if x is dependent on a y on z, like if one says that if x relation is divided two subsets y and z, but y and z are completely independently, then and then multi-value dependency is exist. So તમારી સ્ક્રીન ઉપર જે પણ રીતે એરો 2 ટાઈમ્સ એરોથી ડિફાઇન કરેલું છે એ રીતે આપણે મલ્ટી વેલ્યુ ડિફાઇન કરી શકીએ છીએ. એન્ડ મલ્ટી વેલ્યુ ડિપેન્ડન્સી આપણે ક્યારે રિમૂવ કરવાનું છે? ઇન ફોર્મ ઓફ ફોર્થ નોર્મલ ફોર્મ. સો પ્રીવિયસ જેટલી પણ ડિપેન્ડન્સી ઓર ટર્મિનોલોજી જોઈ જે આપણે યુઝ કરવાનો છે જ્યારે આપણે કોઈ રિલેશનને આપણે પર્ટિક્યુલર નોર્મલ ફોર્મમાં કન્વર્ટ કરવાનું થશે. સો આઈ થિંક યુ આર ક્લિયર અબાઉટ all the normal form and what are the different terminology which we need to know to convert our relation in this particular normal form. Now on next lecture we will start a different normalization form with help of example. So guys, it is a different thing which we are discuss on this particular lecture: normal form, different types of normal form, and there are the different terminology which we are using in this particular normal form. I hope you are enjoying this lecture and I hope you are clear all the topics which we are discussing in this particular lecture. Thank you so much.